Bonus Banter by BuildingWell.
Are you recording, Michelle?
I am.
Oh, well, in that case.
Welcome to the second rendition of Bonus Banter after episode 5 of the BuildingWell podcast. Alina and I thought it would be nice to take a few minutes after each podcast episode and just reflect and talk about what we learned and what surprised us and what was interesting. We hope you enjoy this additional bonus episode.
So that was really interesting. It was good context, I think, between the Nessie presentation and then hearing Neil and Charlie talk day to day about what they do and then having them literally spell everything out for us here. I think now, as a normal layperson, I can really understand some of what they're talking about and what they're trying to do.
Yeah, agreed. I feel like when I listened to the Nessie presentation, I couldn't see the visuals, for one. So I was struggling to understand just how the system itself works. But having Neil explain it and getting into the ins and outs and kind of describing them in more typical terms, that definitely helped me understand, especially with the swing tank and how the water temperatures work within the system.
Yeah, that was really interesting. As also just the overall takeaway for me is how strange is it that most of our large buildings their systems are sized by something that might be 40 years old.
Yeah.
You know, it's 40 years ago in 1984, right? The workforce and the composition of people that occupy a building look totally different from the way it looks now, right? Especially after 2020. I believe that people are now spending 62% of their lives indoors since 2020, when it used to be 50%. And in hotter places, it's up to 90%. So we may be using a lot more hot water a lot differently than we used to.
Yeah. It reminds me of, there's this thing going around on like TikTok and Instagram Reels, not to go too far down this rabbit hole, but I don't know if you get them, Michelle. It's like young professional lady TikTok is like the realm of the internet that I'm talking about, where it's making the joke about how if you're cold at the office, it's because the temperatures were set. You're nodding. Yeah, you get these too. The temperatures at the office were set when it was men instead of women, typically sitting in an office with a full suit on, which is not how we dress for work. And there's many women in the office. And we have a different need for temperature. So it's like, who's the people that were studied also is sort of a question, underlying question I have. But that's like a way tangent.
I liked it.
Yeah, and I think what was really interesting is just how much of a building's energy usage is from the hot water usage. 25% of it being
I didn't expect
hot water. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
And then to be able to reduce the system cost by 20% is pretty incredible.
Yeah, the first cost reduction by 20%. That's Neil sort of glazed over that, but that's a big deal, I think.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. 20% is like, it's a good amount.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how it fits in with the decarb projects in general.
Yes. Yeah, it sort of puts that little piece of like that larger puzzle into context for me, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Now if we can just do every system like that in every building.
Well, we'll get into the building envelopes in the next, which is a big part of it, so that's good too.
Well,
cool.
Thank you to all our listeners who stayed on and listened to this bonus content. We hope you enjoy. We'll see you on the next episode.
See you on the next.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.